Hello. Welcome to part 2 of the makeup haul. Makeup, skincare, hair care, we have it all right here. So, welcome to part 2. I'm not going to waste any more time onto blabbering the intro in this video. We are quickly going to jump into the remaining products that were left from part 1. So, let's quickly see what all do we have. So we are done with the powders and now it's time for the bronzers and the blushes, and to start with that, let's start with the bronzers. The first one that I have is the Chanel Bronzing Cream. Wow. This is what it looks like. I have used this like once or twice. That swirl, I didn't want to damage it for the longest time, but then of course I had to use it, and it does have like a very fine shimmer particles in it, some very fine golden shimmer particles in it, and it is so beautiful on the skin. It just adds that life back to your skin. And this is the shade 392, which is the newest shade by Chanel, because I know for the longest time we medium toned could not really use it. So now we also have like 395, I guess, which is probably even darker than this. So I got the middle shade, which pretty much works well for me. So this particular shade is very natural on my skin tone. It's a very natural bronzing shade, unlike a lot of people who want like a very strong bronze. I do like it on some days, but on the days that I want something very natural, this is the one I would go for. The next we have is the Gucci bronzer. Okay, so that's like super luxe. I pre-ordered both the Chanel and the Gucci bronzers through an Instagram reseller, and this is what the Gucci bronzer looks like. Look at that packaging, so stunning. And I'm just going to open this. And you also get like a brush in there, which is going to be like perfect for bronzing those cheekbones. So that's that. Such a cute brush. To be very honest, I will never be using the brush, but it is really cute. There is no doubt about it. So beautiful, and it comes in like a velvet pouch. So for bronzers, I also have this SheGlam bronzer. This one is in the shade Warm Honey, and the packaging is so cute, especially for the price that this comes with. So cute. And the applicator itself is just too cute. See? I told you. So it's not like we only have all that luxe products here. I also have some super inexpensive products which I really want to try out. Okay, so we are done with the bronzers and now we're moving on to blushes, and I have quite a lot of blushes here because I am a blush girl all in all. So let's jump right in. So since I just showed you the SheGlam bronzer, I'm going to show you the SheGlam blushes first, and they are the same packaging totally, and I've used this and they're too good. Believe me, they're just too good for the price that they come with. Top notch. And I have the shade Love Cake and Rose Ritual, which are both pinkier. This is a much more Barbie pink, Love Cake, and Rose Ritual is a much more warmer pink. So this is what the blushes look like, and let me just swatch those for you. This is Rose Ritual, and then we have Love Cake, which really has a lot of mauvey undertones to it. So this is what both the blushes look like. So then we have some Rare Beauty blushes, and I have 3 shades right here. One of them is a mauve blush, and then we have a red blush, and then we have a hot pink. Let me just quickly open those and swatch them for you. So these are the 3 shades that I have. So super hot pink, which is called Lucky. Then we have this mauve shade called Grace, and then we have this super blood red color as a blush. This one is called Grateful, and let me just quickly swatch them for you. So this is what Grace looks like, a beautiful hot pink blush. This is the shade Grace. Then we have the red, and this one is called Grateful. Okay, those were some super ugly swatches, but I think you get the gist of it. I also have like a mini set of these, which have 3 shades in here, and which are all neutral shades. So I'm just going to quickly swatch them for you. And these are the 3 shades. These are all pretty neutral. So this is what the swatches look like. The first one is called Peace, which is a very peachy, corally peach color. Then we have Hope, and the last one is called Bliss. So this is called Peace, then we have Hope, and then we have Bliss. So these are what the shades look like. These come in a set of 3, and these are 3 minis, which I think a pretty great deal, because if you want to try the Rare Beauty blushes and you want to understand what all the hype is about, I think this is what you should go for. But to be very honest, I like neutral blushes, but not more than my pink blushes, to be very honest. So then I have these 2 super cute cream blushes by Rare Beauty, and this one is called Nearly Apricot, which is of course a corally peach blush, as the name suggests. And then we have Nearly Rose, which is again a pink blush. But as a review, a tiny little review here, I honestly like those liquid blushes more than these cute little cream blushes. The reason is the pigment is not as intense in these cream blushes as the liquid ones, and therefore I'm sure you would have seen that the liquid blush is all over the internet, but not as much the cream blushes. So let's move on. Now we also have some luxury blushes around here. So we have the Dior Backstage blush in both the colors. I have the rosy pink, and I also have the coral. So these are the 2 Dior blushes that I have. This is the hot pink blush, and this is what it looks like. It's a very Barbie pink. And then we have this coral blush, and I have not even swatched this, and I'm kind of saving this one for a product shot, because I'm really looking forward to have that embossed product shot. So that will of course be up on Instagram, so make sure you're following me there. Alright, so last in the blushes we have this Givenchy Prisma Libre blush, and this is just like the Prisma Libre powder. This is also a 4 colored loose blush, and this one is in the shade Taffeta's Rose. And can you see there are 4 colors of pink, in this blush, and this is what the packaging looks like. Super cute. So this is the Jaclyn Hill Rouge Romance blush palette, and there were two variants. One of them was a cool tone and one more of them was a warm tone, and because I love Barbie pink blushes, I purchased the cool toned blush palette. This is what the blushes look like. They are supremely pigmented. I have used like a shade or two from this, but they're really beautiful and just wow. So I have this blush palette as well from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Then we also have the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette. This is the blush and highlighting palette. So this is what the palette looks like. You get a cream blush, you get a powder blush, you get a cream highlighter, you get a powder highlighter, and you also get like a mix of blush and highlighter, which is like a hybrid. You know, you can just use that blush color and you won't really need a highlighter. And these are really beautiful. I actually digged my nail in one of them and I damaged it, and I was just so sad because I really want to take some product shots for this one, but I just couldn't. Okay, so then we have this Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. So this is the Glow Kit by ABH. This one is not yet available in India, but it's a beautiful glow kit. It has all 6 highlighters with different shades, some golden, some champagnes, all of that range. So it's really beautiful, and this is what I have. Alright guys, so it's now time to move on to the eyes, and then we'll finish up with the lips. For the lips, I do not really have a lot of new products because I already had like a lot of lipsticks. I do have some Dior, some Pat McGrath, and some Jaclyn Cosmetics, but not a lot of like super new purchases because, and I do have some Maybelline vinyl lips as well. So stay tuned and make sure you're watching the whole video. So for the eyes, to begin with, I have this Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I always wanted this palette, especially for the packaging and the color scheme. I have used this like once, but look at those colors. They were so beautiful and it's just so pigmented. I really understand why everybody loves, you know, Jeffree Star's eyeshadow formulas. They're just too good. So this is the first palette that I have here in this haul. So next up I have a Louise palette, and this is a super gorgeous palette, and it's a cool toned grey eyeshadow palette, which is really uncommon, and you don't really get such beautiful shades very often. So this is the second palette that I have in the haul, and this packaging, it just reminds me of those days when we used to actually have music cassettes. So nostalgic, and it's just so beautiful and pretty, and I really want to try out, you know, P. Louise. I love her eye bases, totally love it. So I was really intrigued to try out her eyeshadow formula because she really knows what she's doing, you know. Next up we have two Natasha Denona palettes. One of them is a Glam cool toned palette. It's called the Glam palette. This is what the palette looks like. It is super cool toned, and the best part about this particular palette is it is super beginner friendly because it does not have shade names, but rather it tells you where you should be applying which particular shade For example, it says this one is to be applied on the center eyelid, outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, transition, and all of that. So it's just super cool and very, very unique. So this is super, I think, beginner friendly, and you would know where, which shade should go where, which is, I think, super cool. Next up from Natasha Denona, I have her Pastel palette, which is so gorgeous. I did a flat lay shoot for this palette, and look at those gorgeous colors. The camera at this point is really not doing it justice because there are a lot of lights here, but it is so beautiful. I think you should really check my Instagram to actually get like the perfect look of this gorgeous palette. Next up, I have the Makeup by Mario Master Metals palette, which is so stunning, and it comes, I have used this like twice. So it just has such beautiful metallic shades, and it comes with a liquid using which you can use these eyeshadows as eyeliners, or you could just convert them to liquid eyeshadows, which is so cool. And so if you basically what it does is it just helps increase that intensity, and the intensity goes up multi-folds, and is so beautiful. I would be doing like a specific video using all three Makeup by Mario palettes because I have all three of his bigger palettes, the mattes, the metallics, and the metals. So I'm planning to do like a specific video with only these three palettes. So then we have the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette, and this one I got through Kannikka, but I think I made such a huge mistake of not getting it in the hot pink sale because this was on such a huge discount. I think probably even 50% discount during the hot pink sale. So this is what the palette looks like. It's just so gorgeous. I am going to get a flat lay first and then dig into this beautiful palette. The next palette that I have with me is the Desi X Khaki Friendcation palette. I wanted this palette for the longest time, especially for the love that everybody has for this palette. I just had to get it, and these gorgeous shades were truly calling out my name. So this is what the palette looks like, and the packaging of course is so stunning, kind of even matches with my backdrop today, so that's really pretty. See, it just kind of blends into the backdrop that I have on today. But this palette is really beautiful, and I cannot wait to create a look with this one. The next is the Apricot Major Dimensions palette. I mean, just look at this gorgeousness, guys. It's just so beautiful. We have two cream eyeshadows, then we have super metallic eyeshadows, and some super stunning matte eyeshadows. So that's like really beautiful. I love it. I have also kind of swatched it, but I have not really created a look with this one yet, so stay tuned for that. But this is like really beautiful, such sleek packaging. So we have two more eyeshadow palettes, one by Hindash and one by Melt Cosmetics. Let's open up the Hindash palette first. So gorgeous, so sleek, and the color of the packaging itself is so beautiful. And then let me show you the color inside. This is the first ever palette to have like, you know, blended and ombre shades, which is just so pretty, right? It's just so gorgeous. So this is what the palette looks like. has like a pastel rose colored packaging, and I'm just so happy. I got this one through Cult Beauty, and it's just so stunning. I just cannot wait to create a look with this one. And the last but not the least, this limited edition Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette. I really hope I'm kind of pronouncing that right. But this was kind of discontinued. But on special request, it was relaunched for a very limited time, and I was lucky enough to get it because the color scheme is really different, and I absolutely love how beautiful this looks. So, and the packaging also is so gorgeous. So yeah, this was the last palette in the haul for today. This is what it looks like. So stunning, right? So here we have the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes. I have 4 shades with me right here. I'm just going to show you one. I just had to look at this cute little packaging. So cute. So this is like a sunset shade. This one is called Monarch. And look at that. Just look at that molten lava right here. 3 more shades right here in front of me. I have Starburst, I have Moonlight, and I have Laser Beam. So this is a hot pink. Then we have Moonlight, which is a bluer teal blue color. And then we have Laser Beam, which is greenish and bluish shift. Lastly, for the eyeshadows, I have this Pat McGrath Quad, which is like really beautiful. This is what it looks like. It's like a multi-reflective eyeshadow quad, super shimmery and use without caution. This is what it looks like from the back side. It's so sleek and so stunning. So for the lips, I only have like 3-4 products. So to begin with, we have the Fenty Beauty Unattached Stunner Lip Paint. This is like a corally pink color. I'm absolutely in love with the Fenty Beauty's packaging. Let me just swatch it for you guys quickly. So this is what the shade looks like. Super corally and pinky and peachy. So this is the first shade. Okay, secondly we have the Pat McGrath matte lipstick. This one is called Matte Trance, and it is, just look at the packaging itself. It's just so luxury, and I think that's what, you know, the money you pay for is. So this is like a super hot pink color, and look at that lips right here. Look at those lips. Such a beautiful shade. I've not even swatched this one yet. And then I have 2 lip oils. One is by Clarins. This is a pink colored lip oil. This is what it looks like. So I have 2 lip oils. One by Dior. This is what this one looks like. And then I have this pink Clarins lip oil, and I am planning to do like a side-by-side comparison between the two because they're super luxurious on the lips. They feel so good. So if you're looking for a lip oil that is available in India, Clarins is available on Nykaa, which is like really bomb. So you could definitely give that one a try. I kind of really hope you enjoyed. This one was not to make anyone feel that you have to have all of this, because it is my job and this is what I do for a living. I of course like to kind of invest in all of this, and that is how I earn, and therefore I have so much. You really do not need all of this. I know I'm a hoarder. Please don't be like me, to be very honest. Secondly, I wanted to tell you that None of this was PR. All of this was purchased by my own money. So therefore I wanted to show it to you and kind of share it with you. So also stay tuned for a lot of first impressions, a lot of new looks coming your way on Instagram and on YouTube both. So make sure you're kind of following me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. It was fun just going through this makeup heaven here. I will see you guys in my next one. Until then, XOXO.